My name is Cephas, and I'm with my wife Michelle. And this morning we have the privilege and the pleasure to talk to Joe and Purity to find out some of the great work that they're doing in the community. And without much ado, Joe and Purity, just tell us a bit about yourselves and what you're doing.
Thank you for having us. This is a really great opportunity for us. My name is Joseph Bode. Joe is my common name, people call me. I'm married to one wife. You can say she's beautiful. And we're blessed with one son. So that's me. Or that's us, a little bit about us. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing in the community and how that's been impacted by the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, so I work for a non-profit, a Christian non-profit organization called CAST. In full is Church Alliance for Social Transformation.
Yeah.
The work of this organization is actually to mobilize and equip the local churches to reach out with compassion action activities in poor communities.
Great.
So we as an organization, we believe that the church is the hope and also is this change driver in our community.
Yeah.
So we have a number of programs that we do. One of them is local economic development, focused on entrepreneurial skills development among people.
Right.
Just basically just giving basic skills on how to save or to manage their money and so on.
Yes.
Other one is relief services, which is focused on helping people with food and maybe clothing and health. The other one is focused on youth, which is religions, creating resilience among young people.
Yeah.
The other one is focused on education and literacy, focused on actually one of the things that we currently doing in the community, or we've been doing before the impact of COVID, was local economic development, which I said earlier, and the literacy focus on English language development among its children who are actually lacking behind in their reading and writing. So those are the things we've been doing since we started setting our foot in Kenya. Yeah.
Yeah, and you weren't really doing relief services until the COVID pandemic. And just tell us a little bit about what drove you to get into that.
So what we, like I said earlier, is that we've been running this project, and then there was an announcement that there's a cases of COVID, and the government was putting measures to ensure the spread doesn't continue. So things like social gatherings, trainings, everything, churches were being closed down. So in support of that, we had to also suspend all our projects. But after about a week or so, one of our beneficiaries from our business trainings or entrepreneurial skills training called me and said, this one of our entrepreneurs actually hasn't eaten for the past 2 days. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm just sitting at home, waiting when the government will open again for us to resume. But since then, that really hit me hard. And I've been thinking and I was saying, what can we do as an organization rather than just wait and sit and do something? And we moved in. And our first thing we did was to try to get resources here and there, ask friends, our networks. And the first process during the time, we did our first food hampers, but the needs were continuing. The needs were every now increasing by day. People were really struggling a lot. Yeah.
And during that time, how many food hampers would you say you've distributed?
So it's been since COVID, it's about now 3 months. Since we started distributing food, we have distributed about 375
Wow.
so far. That's 375 families who have been benefited from the food. But we were distributing it based on our funding when they came. We did like a thing, shop, but not distribute. So our hope is actually doing more if we continue getting more support and people joining our hands and being on this drive with us. Yeah.
And what would normally typically be in a hamper?
So we try to ensure it's just basic essentials, which is in a house, in a normal household, like maize meal, which is maize flour, wheat flour, sugar, tea leaves, rice, beans. These are just normal basics, dry food that people can usually have at home and to help them in that sense. Yeah.
And Purity, when you guys have gone into these communities, what have you seen? What impact has COVID had in these communities?
The communities that we are involved in they are informal settlement. A lot of people have their own businesses, which are small businesses. Others have been employed. Some of them have been employed they work in restaurants. When the government announced about COVID in Kenya, so there was a time that the government said that there should be curfew. And the curfew that they put timings, it was around from 7, you are not supposed to be outside. And at that time, that's when most of people in our community do their businesses. So that's when they open the small businesses. When people come from work or from where they work, they come pass by buying stuff as they go home. And so when they announced that, a lot of people will come early. So those people who opened their businesses at 7 really struggle a lot. Also, a lot of people who worked from restaurants like waiters, they lost their job. And people are struggling, and we could find people battling to put food on their table, especially especially the community that we deal with. They work from hand to mouth. So that really affected them so much. So, yeah.
And where are these communities?
So we have 3 partner churches that are working with us. So one is in Kiamaiko area, the next one is in Juja, and another one is in Gashui, just slightly outside Nairobi. Yeah.
Wow, that's such amazing stuff that you guys are doing out there. And yeah, I think most people are wondering, how can they be involved? Yeah.
So you can get involved, and we would love you to be part of our community. And you can do this first, we need prayer. We need you to pray for us. We need wisdom from God. We need strength, and we really need prayer. So please pray for us. Also, you can get involved by sharing about what we do with a friend, a family, or also on social media. Also, you can donate any amount, with a shilling or whatever. We would really appreciate, and believe you me, it will be a benefit to a lot of parents.
Yeah, and you've already been receiving a lot of support from your life group. Can you just tell us a bit about that?
We absolutely love our life group. They have been actually our driver behind us. They are like on us. Hey, Joseph, we can do this. Praying for us, first of all, giving us their moral support. Already members of our life group have also donated some food hampers for us, or donated towards the food hampers. So absolutely, we are really, really grateful for our life group, for their continuous prayers and support they have given us since we've been running this initiative. Yeah.
All right, great, guys. Well, if you'd like to get in touch with Joe and Purity, their numbers are on the screen, or you can email them, and I'm sure they'll really appreciate that. And if you like to give toward them, again, you can get in touch and just get their giving details. But otherwise, thank you so much, Joe and Purity. Amazing work that you're doing in the communities. We love and we appreciate you, and want to be fully behind you as a church.